standing up for Tucson and Southern Arizona and making a difference every day. The voice of freedom, AM 1030 KVOI.
Joe, I love you.
I respect you, Chris.
Ah, that's beautiful.
Love and Respect Radio.
It's only your first.
Love and Respect Radio. 6:34 in the morning. 790-2040 is the number. Let's go. I hate to say newsmaker hotline. There's got to be some. We got to come up with some other euphemism for the hotline. So let's call it the Sports Buzz Haircuts hotline.
I like it.
Senator John McCain. Joe owns Sports Buzz Haircuts,
That's
so
right,
we got to pimp our businesses, John. So
listen, I've got a lot of names for your show.
thank you very much. Good call.
And now
Very good.
After the FEC ruling, the FCC ruling, I guess, whatever it is, that I could probably use those.
Oh,
That's
yes,
very
you
true.
could. Don't test us today.
They're loosening it up out there.
Well, I'm glad to talk to you guys. A lot of interesting things are going on here.
Yeah, what have you been up to, Senator? You've been kind of busy lately here.
Yeah, we've been busy. Well, one nice experience I had yesterday is that I met with David Cameron. Senator Lindsey Graham and I met with David Cameron by ourselves several years ago when he was just starting out. He invited me to come over and speak to their party conference. They were at an all-time low, as you know. At that time, Tony Blair was extremely popular. But anyway, so when he was in town yesterday, he asked to see me and Lindsey Graham. It was nice to talk to him. And by the way, he has steered the British economy, I think, back in the right direction. Massive spending cuts, and a commitment to get their budget balanced. I hope that, although I doubt it, it might be nice if he had some influence on the president, and here we just continue to spend and spend.
Yeah, we're watching that. Hey Senator, I've been doing a lot of research on back in 1994, the contract with America and the health care debate, and President Clinton's first 2 years, and it's kind of lining up right now like that perfect storm. And taking ourselves away from just the race that you're in, but looking at more of a national level. Back then, you had the contract with America, you had Frank Luntz doing all his polling, and you had a whole kind of movement going around the country. Do we have that going on now? Do we have that?
That's going on now in spades, but the problem is that we had that contract with America. We passed a number of those provisions, but then we let spending get out of control. Yeah. And the earmarking and the pork barreling and members of Congress going to prison, people like Duke Cunningham and all that, lost our way. Yeah. And the Republicans lost their way. I was down there on the floor every day telling them, you can't keep this earmarked pork barrel spending and these spending programs. Best example is a Medicare Part D. We wanted to get seniors an opportunity to get prescription drugs, right? But we should have paid for it. We should have had corresponding spending cuts to pay for it. Instead, it was another $1 trillion unfunded liability.
Do we see the Republican Party kind of coming up with that message this year that's going to resonate in districts all over the country?
Like, why hasn't there been a similar thing to a contract of America coming out as a marketing thing across the whole plank? I don't understand why not.
There's got to be, but one of the reasons is, and I'll tell you again, there are Republicans who still want to engage in this spending. The appropriators are still hard over. We've been trying to get a commitment that will stop the earmarking and pork barreling, and there are Republicans who will not agree to that. So
it sounds like that's been a battle for.
We've got some more work to do to get the confidence back, and I'm very pleased at all these polling numbers you're talking about. But when you look at them, you will see that the approval rating of Republicans are still low. We haven't sold them. Now, there's going to be votes. The difference, I think, will be between a significant victory and really a remarkable victory. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because just the votes against what's been going on.
Sure.
But we've also got to give people votes for it. And you know who those voters are. They're the independent voters.
Yep.
We're on the line with Senator John McCain. If you want to call in, 790-2040. John, one of the things Joe and I always talk about on the air, off the air, is with the Republican Party is where are the rock stars of tomorrow? Okay.
I think there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah. Well, who should we look to? Joe and I are still, hovering around our 40s. Okay.
Well,
Joe's a little older.
Well, one of them, and I always get in trouble with some because I don't mention.
You don't mention everyone, right?
But one of them right now, in my view, is Bobby Jindal, the governor of Louisiana. Now, he did a bad job in his first opportunity to respond to the president's message, but Governor Jindal has been down there in Louisiana every day, fighting to get the bureaucracy out of the way, fighting to get the cleanup done. He has really done a very good job. I think we've got a number of governors out there that are very strong and attractive people. I can tell you, I think Eric Cantor in the House of Representatives, Tim Pawlenty, who did a very good job as governor of Minnesota. There's a large number. Sarah Palin will be a factor in the Republican politics and national politics for a long time. You know that because the way the liberals attack her all the time.
Yeah.
So
who's our Arizona rock stars, John?
I think that John Kyle is. I admit that he's not so young.
I was going to say, except about someone under 50.
Well,
I mean, we like John too.
I think Jeff Flake is a star.
Yeah, I mentioned that
Jeff
a lot,
is a true. He stood up against his own leadership, against this pork barrel and earmarking spending, and they punished him for it. They punished him over there for it. Republicans did, and yet he was willing to stand up.
Senator, what's his district again? Just so for those of us in Tucson, is it Scottsdale?
It's the East Valley.
East Valley, okay.
East Valley up in Phoenix.
Yeah, pay attention to this guy, listeners, because Jeff Flake is really someone to watch.
Yeah, I think if Jonathan Payton gets elected, he's going to be a star. He's a veteran. He's got a good record up in the legislature, and I think he is a rising star in Arizona politics, and could be nationwide. I think we've got a good crop of candidates out there.
Tonight there's a debate at Desert Hills High School, which I'm moderating, forum with Jonathan Payton, Jesse Kelly, and Brian Miller, all candidates running for this thing. So.
Well, Jonathan is, I always have a special affection for veterans, and he served in Iraq, as you know, and he's anyway. So I
think all three of the guys did in that race. Hey, the other question I have.
I just don't know the others.
Yeah. You know, you're talking about how you have Republicans who are not for wasteful spending, and you have ones that are promoting wasteful spending. And you know that we've talked about it before, the second Bush term and energy and transportation bills that were full of your favorite thing, pork, right?
Yeah.
And how does this crap get? How does it happen? Is there just no? Is
corruption? It's corruption. Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you anything else. The people think that they are sent here to get taxpayers' money for their districts, whether they are worthwhile or not, and are unwilling to have them compete with other projects. Look, I fight for Arizona every single day.
So what's the problem? Is it
playing field?
Is it the national GOP? Is it their problem that you have these guys and gals running around like a bunch of drunk sailors, or what?
I am proud of our performance so far, but the Republican Party has to commit itself to being adhering to fiscal discipline. That's what the Tea Party movement is all about. Right. Out of control spending, taxes, etc. And so far, of course, there probably a majority of them are voting with Republicans, but we certainly haven't closed the deal with Tea Party people. We've got a lot of work to do. Goes back to the beginning of our conversation. We have to give them a contract, and we have to stick to it this time, because they're not going to give us another chance after this.
Right. I have not been overly impressed with Mr. Steele. What does this guy have to do in the next year to keep his job?
Well, he's elected by a very small group of people who are every state has two representatives on the RNC in Washington, and so it's a very narrow group that has selected him. I think that Mr. Steele, first of all, has to clean up their spending. Some of the expenditures that they've made were outright, just totally inappropriate. I think we need to get all of us in sync, and the way you get in sync is to have a specific outline. First item I would have on the list: balanced budget amendment to the Constitution. Number 2, repeal and replace Obamacare, and then go on from there. Something that we promised to do, and this time I believe we'll carry it out. I think we do.
Bruce Ash, who's from Southern Arizona here, he's on the national committee. Mm-hmm. He actually came out with 10 points. You could be good on 7 of the 10 and still kind of hold the Republican brand. Something like that, where there's some kind of litmus test at the national level to say, you got to be for these things, and these are important to us.
Exactly, and we have to commit to them. And again, they're in sync with the overwhelming majority of the American people. Sure. Look, approval ratings of Congress, the last number I saw was 14%. You get down that low, you get down to paid staffers and blood relatives. So we can do it. And I also would say again, these are terribly tough times, but I also believe that the most innovative and productive and strongest nation in the world is still the United States of America. And anything that's new that comes out, look at the iPad, okay? That didn't come from China. Didn't come from Europe. Came from the U.S. of A. So I do have some...
And through times of pain is when the country evolves and the businesses evolve and we evolve. So it's time we're in that moment of pain.
Hey, before we go to break, John, what is the chances that there's going to be something that the Republican Party puts down on paper that we're committed to do this as we roll through to November? What's the chance? Is that going to happen?
I'm 80% to 90% confident. There are some here in Washington and the Republican leadership who figure that we can do enough just by being against.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, agree with you.
Give me some agita, as my grandmother would say. So
4-1, we do it.
Yeah.
All right, John, hold on for just 2 seconds. We're going to pay some bills, and we're going to get into everyone's favorite thing, the border. So
there you go.
All right, we got Senator John McCain calling in from D.C. If you want to get in on the conversation, 790-2040. It's our last segment with him coming up before top of the hour. Gary Hayes from RTA is coming up to answer the Sunday thing, what we talked about yesterday, and clarify and verify what's going on with your tax dollars over there. It's Wake Up Tucson, 1030 KVOI, The Voice. All right, welcome back to the Wake Up Tucson show. Joe Higgins, Christy Simone, KVOI The Voice, 6:49 in the morning. Let's get back to Senator John McCain on the Sports Buzz Haircuts hot maker line or something like that. So,
how about the gossip grapevine?
We got that too. Hey,
by the way, you were talking about can we get it done? This thing, like the Diamondbacks just won 2 games in a row. That shows you that anything.
It's against my freaking Mets. It's like playing against the Sisters of Charity. Please stop. We're going to be at we're taking a whole bunch of listeners up to the game on Friday night against the Giants, so we'll see.
Good. I think that I'm going on Saturday night. Look, they're going through tough times. I hope everybody will support them. They're our team, and the fact is, it's still one of the most pleasurable experiences you can have at the field area, indoors. Weather's cool. Nice, food's good, people are nice, so let's support them.
The weather's inside is nice. It's one of the nicest things you can do on a 127-degree day in
We're taking
Phoenix.
60 folks up there on a bus from Tucson, small business owners and folks politically engaged. We're going to tour the Capitol. Yeah, and then we're going to catch a game, get a tour of the Diamondback game. Should be fun. Friday night. San Francisco
Giants. Great. I don't think I'll be there till Saturday night, but thanks for doing that, and thanks for supporting the D-backs. They are Arizona's team, and so I appreciate you all doing it, and let's see what happens with the Suns and Coyotes. I hope they stay, and the Cardinals with a new quarterback. We're going to have a very interesting sports year coming up. And,
I agree.
I miss Amari, but it is what it is. It's a business. We keep forgetting that it's not a sport; it's a business.
Yeah, we got one question for you. Then we're going to get to a couple of calls. Someone from New York City is calling you, believe it or not, in Tucson, Arizona. So hopefully you don't owe this dude money or something. But he says his name is Andrew with the Gambino crime family, but it's no big deal.
I was going to say New York City, a hotbed of conservative thought.
The biggest question we get about you and your re-election campaign here is that you've been doing this for, since when did you first start?
1896.
1896. Okay. You're one of our not just veterans. You're veteran senator, but also on the border. Okay. You're asking for another 6 years from the people of Arizona to go back. Mm-hmm. How are things going to be different on this border going back? I understand if you can get some help and flip the house a little bit and all this stuff, we're there. But are we going to get something done in your next 6 years? Because it's got to happen, John.
Yeah, and we can get something done this year. We got we won some votes. The way that Harry Reid had it set up, we had to get 60, but we got some over 50 votes. I did get in the defense bill mandate that 6,000 troops go to the border. And by the way, they put off taking that bill to the floor of the Senate because I think they think that they would lose on that. 6,000 guard to the border. Yeah, we can get it done next year. And again, I just came from Israel. They secured the borders there. Surveillance, people, and fences. We can do the same thing. And and as you know, there has been some movement on the part of the president. Not enough, but certainly a dramatic change from about a year ago when they had planned on cutting Border Patrol as opposed to what it was.
Hey, I heard he's sending a gelato machine to Nogales, so it'll be fine. Hey,
and our 10-point plan has been working, but I also want to point out to you, my friends, what the liberal and the left don't understand when they keep saying, well, it's not a big problem, why did they care, that the border's more secure than ever. That car bombing that happened the other day in Juarez, that's the kind of stuff that happens in Baghdad. A wounded person, they wait till people come around this wounded person and set off the car bomb. Now, that is a unprecedented act in this whole border situation that we're talking about.
It's plastic explosives, right?
If that isn't a wake-up call, if that isn't a wake-up call, there's no such thing.
Sure.
Hey, one last yes or no, and then I'll get to the calls. If you Arizona 1070 comes before you as a state representative, you're a yes on 1070?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay.
The federal government has got to fulfill its responsibilities, and it's not. And one of the questions when I'm in these debates with these people on the left, why should our citizens have to be warned, have signs put up by our government warning you're in a drug smuggling and human smuggling area? Is that how we expect people to live within our own country?
Sure.
But we can get this done. I am confident we can get this done.
All right, John. Let's get you to the you to the voters.
All right.
Let's go to Dapa. Dapa, he's one of our brand new callers. He's great. Let's go to Dapa. What's up, big guy?
Yes, no cost team.
Thank you very much.
I do have a question, though. I want to say first, thank McCain for service to country. I come from Cambodia. I live in Vietnam. I live in Thailand. So I want to say thank you for all Americans who go there and try to help us. And he pay, close to ultimate price. Almost worse than death, because you have to live with people that capture you and take you. But I have a question about you guys keep stopping unemployment payment. I have job, but my partner who worked with me lost his job because he not on salary like I was. And he no take unemployment for more than 3 months before he go and not have no money no more. But still, it's okay to give Pakistan $700 million. It's okay to give Mexico $340 million. It's okay to give Palestine another $500 million.
All right, Dave, I got to get to a whole bunch of other calls. So the question is, of course, we're spending all this money.
We just want.
Why no spend on America? Why spend on other country and not American? Why not make Congress pay for other country before we pay for them?
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for the call, bud.
Gotcha. They added $34 billion of other spending on it. All we want to do is pay for it. We want to stop the spending, and the size of government has doubled since 1999. Surely we could cut some government spending to pay for this, rather than just add to the debt that we continue to lay on our kids and our grandkids. All we Republicans in the Senate have been trying to do is get them to pay for it, and that's all.
We understand that, man. They've been spending as we keep talking about
as small business employers, we have my unemployment rates have gone up. My cost to employ folks has gone up because of these things.
And you're paying more months you're paying the whole thing. Let's go to Ernie real quick on with Senator John McCain. Ernie, you got like a minute, so let's go quick, bud.
Hello, Mr. McCain.
Hi, Ernie.
What I wanted to say was yesterday when Mr. Obama was on the podium with the three people behind him talking about how long they'd been unemployed and they needed to pass more money to keep receiving the benefits. Well, I wonder why no Republican has picked up on actually what he was doing was showing his failures from his policies. If these people are unemployed that long, wouldn't you think that is a failure of his policies?
All right, Ernie, thanks for the call, bud.
Ernie, that's an excellent point. The failure. They promised us if we passed that $832 billion stimulus package that unemployment would be a maximum of 8%. So what he was doing is presenting evidence of his own failure of his own policies. So that's a good point, Ernie. And I think you're exactly right.
Ernie, thanks for the call. Hey, we got to hire a few more census workers. So.
Oh yeah, more of that. That ought to take.
Andrew from New York City. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, Senator McCain. A pleasure to talk with you this morning.
How did you find us on KVOI in Tucson, Arizona, Andrew?
Well, I wanted to congratulate Senator McCain on being so linked into social networking. He tweeted about talking with you guys this morning, so here I am sitting in my office and got on the internet and listened in.
Wow, I'm just making sure you weren't a stalker. So
yeah, absolutely not. And Senator McCain owes me no money. I just owe him a lot of gratitude for all the service he's given to our country.
Thank you, Andrew.
You're a hero to everybody here. More of a local.
There's hope for New York City. Go ahead.
Thank you. A local question though. A lot of politicians have been weighing in on the mosque down in at the
World Trade Center,
World Trade Center area. Do you think it's a local issue? Is it more of a federal issue? Isn't it kind of? We do have freedom of religion in this country.
Andrew, you really raise a very tough question. One, I haven't gotten into it as much, but
all right, we got like a minute here, Andrew. So let him answer, please.
Let me just say very quickly, Andrew. I think it is a national issue in the significance of Ground Zero. Now, the question is, though, does the city of New York have the sole jurisdiction and decision making on it or not? I have not honestly gotten into it enough with all the other stuff that's been going on, enough to give you a measured opinion. But I think you and I would agree. We certainly don't want any radical Islamic element involved in any way in that mosque. Wouldn't you agree, Andrew?
100%.
And I think that's the key to it more than anything else. And so, but I noticed that there is a difference of opinion between my dear friend Sarah Palin and Mayor Bloomberg. But all I'm mostly interested in is to make sure that there could never be any radical element involved. It would be a affront and an insult to those who sacrificed their lives at 9/11, including the brave firefighters, as you know. But if it continues on and there's taxpayers' dollars involved and American taxpayers' dollars involved in it, I will get more into it. And
all right, we got Andrew. Thanks for the call.
Mention, guys.
Yes.
Point.
Thank you, guys.
I did tweet that I was on your show. 1.7 million people are on the other end, and so
thank you.
Well, thank you.
I hope some more people from around the country tuned in because you guys got a great show.
Appreciate it.
All
Thanks.
right,
Keep doing what you're
thanks for calling in. We'll see you again before you go out again.
Talk to you soon.
Later.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.